In 1958, a strange illness emerged in a group of research monkeys. These monkeys were in Denmark being studied by scientists. This marked the first time the world encountered what we now know as monkeypox, or Mpox. Although initially found in monkeys, Mpox is a disease that can spread to humans. The virus, belonging to the same family as smallpox, sparked concern and raised many questions about its origins and potential impact on human health. The discovery of Mpox in a research facility highlighted the interconnectedness of animal and human health. It served as a stark reminder that diseases can jump species, posing significant threats to global populations. The emergence of Mpox marked the beginning of a journey to understand this novel virus and its implications for public health. The scientific community, recognizing the potential danger of this new virus, sprang into action. Research began in earnest to understand how Mpox spreads, what its symptoms were, and how it could be contained. This early work laid the foundation for our current understanding of Mpox and continues to guide our efforts in managing this viral threat. The story of Mpox begins long before its discovery in a Danish laboratory. The virus's origins are deeply rooted in the natural world, far from the sterile environments of modern science. Scientists believe that Mpox has existed in animals, likely rodents, in Central and West Africa for centuries. These regions, rich in biodiversity, have long been a natural reservoir for various pathogens. The virus likely circulated among these animal populations, occasionally spilling over into humans in these regions. This zoonotic transmission, where diseases jump from animals to humans, is a common phenomenon in areas with close human-animal interactions. However, limited surveillance and awareness kept Mpox largely under the radar of the global health community for many years. In these remote areas, healthcare infrastructure was often insufficient to detect and report such cases.
The first human case of Mpox wasn't recorded until 1970 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This marked a significant moment in medical history, as it was the first time the virus was identified in humans. This initial case signaled a shift in our understanding of Mpox. Researchers began to realize that the virus was not just an obscure pathogen affecting animals, but had the potential to impact human health significantly. It was no longer just a disease confined to monkeys in a lab, it had the potential to infect and spread among humans. This realization brought a new urgency to the study of Mpox. This realization triggered further investigation into the virus and its potential to cause outbreaks in human populations. Scientists began to study the virus more intensively, looking for ways to prevent and control its spread.
Over the following decades, sporadic outbreaks of Mpox were reported in several Central and West African countries. These outbreaks provided valuable data that helped scientists understand the virus better. These outbreaks, often linked to contact with infected animals, provided crucial clues about the virus's behavior and transmission pathways. Each outbreak was a learning opportunity, shedding light on how the virus spread and how it could be contained. Scientists learned that Mpox could spread through close contact with infected animals, their bodily fluids, or contaminated materials. This knowledge was essential for developing strategies to prevent future outbreaks. Despite these outbreaks, Mpox remained largely confined to these specific geographic regions. The virus did not spread widely outside of Central and West Africa, keeping it a relatively localized health issue. The world's attention remained focused on other emerging infectious diseases, and Mpox continued to circulate under the radar, its full potential impact still unknown. It wasn't until recent years that the global health community began to recognize the importance of monitoring and controlling Mpox, understanding that in our interconnected world, no disease is truly isolated. Mpox spreads through close contact, much like its relative, the smallpox virus. This close contact can involve touching the skin lesions of an infected person or coming into contact with their bodily fluids, such as saliva or respiratory droplets. This means that activities like kissing, cuddling, or sexual contact can facilitate the transmission of the virus.
But Mpox transmission isn't limited to direct person-to-person contact. The virus can also spread indirectly through contact with contaminated materials. This includes touching clothing, bedding, or other objects that have been used by an infected person. The virus can survive on these surfaces for extended periods, increasing the risk of transmission.
Pregnant women who contract Mpox face an additional risk: the possibility of transmitting the virus to their unborn child. This transmission can occur through the placenta during pregnancy or through close contact during and after childbirth. Understanding these various transmission routes is crucial for implementing effective prevention and control measures. While Mpox primarily spreads through close contact, it's important to note that it's not as contagious as some other viruses like measles or the flu. Casual contact, such as walking past an infected person, is unlikely to result in transmission. Nonetheless, understanding the potential routes of spread is essential for protecting yourself and others. Recognizing the signs and symptoms of Mpox is crucial for early detection and intervention. Early recognition can help in managing the disease more effectively and preventing its spread to others. The incubation period, or the time between exposure to the virus and the onset of symptoms, typically ranges from 6 to 13 days. This period can vary depending on several factors, including the individual's immune system and the amount of virus they were exposed to, but can be as long as 21 days. This extended incubation period means that someone infected with Mpox may not show any signs of illness for up to 3 weeks, making it challenging to identify and isolate cases early. This means that someone infected with Mpox may not show any signs of illness for up to 3 weeks. During this time, they might unknowingly spread the virus to others, highlighting the importance of monitoring and early detection.
Once symptoms do appear, they often begin with fever, which is usually one of the first signs that something is wrong. The fever can be high and persistent, making the person feel very unwell. Headache, muscle aches, back pain, and a general feeling of unwellness. These symptoms can be quite severe and debilitating, often leading the person to seek medical attention. And a general feeling of unwellness. This overall malaise can make it difficult for individuals to carry out their daily activities and may require them to rest and recover at home. These initial symptoms can mimic those of other common illnesses, such as the flu or a common cold, making it difficult to diagnose Mpox based on these symptoms alone. This similarity can lead to misdiagnosis and delays in appropriate treatment, making it difficult to diagnose Mpox based on these symptoms alone. Therefore, it is essential to consider the patient's history and any potential exposure to the virus when making a diagnosis.
However, one distinctive feature of Mpox sets it apart from other viral infections. This feature is the development of a characteristic rash that follows the initial symptoms. A few days after the onset of fever, a characteristic rash typically develops. This rash is a key indicator of Mpox and can help healthcare providers make a more accurate diagnosis. This rash often starts on the face, making it one of the first visible signs of the infection. The appearance of the rash can be alarming and prompt individuals to seek medical advice, and then spreads to other parts of the body, including the arms, legs, and torso. The spread of the rash can be rapid and extensive, covering large areas of the skin, including the palms of the hands, which is a distinctive feature of Mpox. The presence of the rash on the palms can help differentiate Mpox from other skin conditions, and soles of the feet. The rash on the soles is another characteristic sign that can aid in the diagnosis of Mpox.
The rash progresses through distinct stages, starting as flat red spots. These spots can be itchy and uncomfortable, causing significant distress to the affected individual. That evolve into raised bumps, then fluid-filled blisters, which can be painful and prone to infection if not properly cared for. And finally, scabs that eventually fall off. The healing process can take several weeks, and the skin may remain sensitive for some time after the scabs have fallen off. The appearance of this characteristic rash is a strong indicator of Mpox infection. Recognizing these stages can help in confirming the diagnosis and initiating appropriate treatment.
If you experience these symptoms, especially if you have recently traveled to an area where Mpox is known to occur, it is important to be vigilant. Keeping track of your symptoms and seeking medical advice promptly can make a significant difference in the outcome. Or have had close contact with someone who has Mpox, it's crucial to seek medical attention immediately. Early diagnosis and treatment can help manage the symptoms and reduce the risk of complications. While many people infected with Mpox experience mild, self-limiting illness, the virus can lead to severe health complications, especially if left untreated. It's important to understand that even if the initial symptoms seem manageable, the virus can still pose significant risks if not properly addressed. For some, Mpox can progress to a more severe form, characterized by a higher fever, a more widespread rash, and involvement of other organs such as the lungs, brain, or eyes. This progression can be rapid and unpredictable, making it crucial to seek medical attention at the first sign of worsening symptoms.
One of the most serious complications of Mpox is secondary bacterial infections. These infections occur when bacteria enter the body through the open sores caused by the Mpox rash. The open sores caused by the Mpox rash can provide an entry point for bacteria, leading to infections that can be difficult to treat and potentially life-threatening. These secondary infections can complicate the healing process and require intensive medical care. These secondary infections can affect the skin, lungs, or bloodstream, leading to sepsis, a life-threatening condition that occurs when the body's response to infection damages its own tissues and organs. Sepsis requires immediate medical intervention and can result in long-term health issues or even death if not promptly treated.
Pregnant women infected with Mpox face additional risks. The virus can have severe implications for both the mother and the unborn child. The virus can cause pregnancy complications, including miscarriage, stillbirth, or premature birth. These outcomes can be devastating, highlighting the importance of early detection and treatment for pregnant women. Infants born to mothers with Mpox are also at increased risk of complications, including congenital Mpox, a rare but serious condition that can cause skin lesions, eye problems, and other health issues. These infants require specialized medical care to manage their symptoms and prevent further complications.
While Mpox is rarely fatal, it's essential to remember that it can lead to severe health problems, especially in vulnerable populations. This includes individuals with weakened immune systems, the elderly, and those with pre-existing health conditions. Early diagnosis and treatment are crucial for preventing these complications and improving outcomes for those infected with the virus. By seeking medical care promptly, individuals can reduce the risk of severe health issues and ensure a better recovery process.